up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616, and welcome back to another part in my CD collection hip-hop overview. This is going to be part 34, and as you can notice, I am back on camera. I haven't been on camera in a hip-hop video in a long time, so basically what this is going to be the remaining stuff that I picked up through the time I was doing my shelf by shelves, and I just never showed you guys. So some of the stuff you guys actually have seen, though, I think when I did my top 20 2015 hip-hop albums of the year. But a lot of this stuff is just kind of random pickups here and there, some secondhand. Most of the stuff was bought brand new, but yeah, so that's what it is. Just stuff that never made it into the shelves while I was doing the shelf by shelf. So without further ado, first up here, and there's no order to this, so it's completely random. Yeah, first up here, I do have a couple reissues and stuff here. King T, Act a Fool. Finally got my hands on a copy of the CD because they reissued these, which is just fantastic. Yeah, I used to have this on tape back in the day. Never picked up the CD. Totally regretted it for years because it was out of print and going for stupid money. And then they actually reissued this out of Japan. And it's awesome. Totally cool. So really stoked to have that. I love that record. Here's another one, man. I'm just so happy they reissued, and that's Low Profile. Of course, WC. It's totally awesome, man. This is just great old school hip hop, man. It's actually quite clean too. It's pretty interesting. It's before WC became like, you know, the WC that we know him as, like the West Side Connection type WC. But very cool, man. Very cool record. Very glad to have that. This is one that I never owned back in the day, surprisingly enough. I owned his Little Half Dead's first record, and this is Steel on a Mission. It's pretty good, man. It's like just that straight West Coast gangster stuff. It's pretty good. Not as good as his first record, but happy that they reissued this one too, because this one I just never picked up. I actually never really had an opportunity when this one came out. I never could find it. Kind of before the days of ordering online on the internet and stuff. So, but yeah, Steel on a Mission, that's fucking pretty cool to have. And this one right here, I'm glad they reissued this album too, man. WC in the Mad Circle, Ain't a Damn Thing Changed. When Coolio was part of the group, I actually still have my tape of this album, but very happy to have this on CD finally. And yeah, good stuff, man. I love the song Fuck My Daddy on here. It's great. Moving along here, we got some Camp Low, Ragtime High Times. You know, this album right here was kind of hit and miss for me from last year. It had some good tracks. It had, you know, the first like 4 or 5 songs of this album had like some pretty good potential, you know, to be like a really good album, and it just kind of faltered, man. Just fell right off. But you know, it was a decent record, just nothing too special. But yeah, it's always cool to hear Camp Low putting out new stuff. Then we got Peace Instrumentals Part 2, of course, Pete Rock. I actually enjoyed this. I know a lot of people didn't really care for it too much, but man, I'm such a big fan of Pete Rock that, you know, I'll pick up anything that Pete Rock does. But yeah, still cool to have. Omnisides, man, the God Hour. I thought this was really dope, man. Really cool stuff. Pretty cool, man. You know, you get this album and then it comes with a full album of remixes too. So you basically get like 2 albums in one. And it's you know, at times when you're listening to it, it's hard to like really kind of decide which mix you like better, because both albums are really dope, man. Really good stuff. So yeah, this was a limited edition, limited to 300 copies, and I got this quite a bit after it came out because I just kept putting it off, and I think underground hip hop was the only place that was selling this at the time, and their shipping's just atrocious to Canada, as all my fellow Canadian hip hoppers know that have bought from them before. What up, Jason Bosco? But yeah, so I put this one off for a long time. It was still available. I grabbed it, and I remember checking back just a while ago, and I think it was still available. So I don't know what's up with that, why people aren't grabbing this, but that's a shame, man. Really dope. Big surprise album for me last year, and that Sadat X has Never Left. In my opinion, man, Sadat X is still solid, man. He still puts out really good stuff. He got some pretty interesting features on here, man. King T was even on this record. That's very interesting. Craig G, Sky Zoo. Who else is on here, man? Black Rob, that was the other interesting one too. Cool samples, pretty catchy record, but just a big surprise. You know, Sadat X still putting out solid stuff, but I really enjoyed it. That was great. Again, you know, never disappointed with anything Large Pro puts out. Reliving. This album is just really short though. 11 tracks. I think there's only 9 songs, and one of the songs Large Pro's not even on, which is Industry, the remix featuring Inspected Deck, Cormega, Rock Marciano, and Lord Jamar. Yeah, man, dope record, but super short. Like, this one goes by in a flash. It's just kind of disappointed in that sense, but still good. I enjoy it. One of my favorite records of last year, man, is Blabbermouth's the Blabbermouth LP. Got that early 90s kind of flippity-flabbity flow. I don't know what exactly you call it, but really authentic sounding, man. The beats sound like they were made in like 92. His flow comes straight out of 92. It's really dope, man. I know this shit ain't for everybody, and a lot of people are criticizing for coming out like this. I'm like, why the fuck you want to sound like 92? But my question is, why the fuck wouldn't you want to sound like 92? It's dope. That was a good era. But I understand that people want progression and stuff, but this is still really good, man. I really don't understand. I mean, every song on this album just is a banger for me, so yeah. Next up here, we got JR and PH7 and Chewy, Sacktown's finest here with the South Sack Mac. This was good, man. I'm a big fan of Chewy, man. He's smooth. He's got the laid back style. The beats were cool on here. I really had nothing to complain about this, man. It was just a fresh sounding album. There was really nothing that was bad on this record. It was just a solid listen throughout. Yeah, I like Chewy, man. He's not a flashy rapper. He doesn't wear the chains and all the gold and shit. He just looks like a broke ass kid, man, which he probably is. But good shit. Really enjoyed that. Next up, another big surprise for me, man, was Jedi Mind Tricks, The Thief and the Fallen. Yeah, man, Return of Stoop. And this one actually did pretty well for me, man. Even the interludes I thought were pretty good on here. For the most part, this album was really good. I think there was a couple courses on here I wasn't really feeling, maybe a beat or two, but for the most part, I was really astounded that, you know, kind of the comeback that they made together, you know. I mean, not Vinny Paz, but just as that, you know, original lineup type deal. This was good though, man. I thought it was really good. I think the song with R.A. Rugged, man, I think that's one of the songs with one of the shitty courses on here, but yeah. Anyways, next up, Simi Hendrix, Breakfast at Banksky's. This was good, man. I really enjoyed this, man. I thought this was awesome, man. Ross Koss and Jack Splash, yeah, from Mellow Music Group, man. This was a big surprise. I didn't know what to expect from this, you know, knowing very little about Jack Splash. I did a little bit of research, and I was like, I think he'd won like a Grammy or something strange like that. And I was like, Ross Koss, I'm like, well, like, he can be very hit and miss. He hasn't really put out too many solid projects in his career. And this was a big surprising album, man. I definitely checked this out from last year. Very cool stuff. Then we got Mr. Green's Live from the Streets. One of my favorites from last year. I think this was number 2. Or number 3. I think it was actually number 3 on my list. But if you're not familiar with the Live from the Streets projects, go check out Mr. Green on YouTube. Basically what he does is he travels around the world and he records street performers. He samples those songs and, you know, street vocals and things like that, and brings in MCs and makes records out of it. And he makes videos for the process of it. And it's fucking outstanding, man. It's really cool. It's just really cool. It's just amazing, man. Even, you know, Benefits on here like 2 or 3 times. Pretty cool stuff. You got KRS-One, Malik B, Pace One, Vinny Paz. The list goes on and on, man. It's really cool. But I'm looking forward to the new project that he's working on right now, because I was such a big fan of that, man, I mean, if he was looking for crowdfunding, I put money towards it, man. Really enjoyed that much. Here's kind of doing a 180 right here. But this is the, what is it? Is it the Marvelous Missing Link? Yeah, Found and Lost and Found. The 2 new Insane Clown Posse records. I know this is coming like straight out of left field after all that stuff, but you know what? I find these guys kind of entertaining. I'm not a juggler or anything, but I do find these guys kind of entertaining. And this stuff actually sounds very mature. It's very interesting to listen to. Probably not for the hardcore ICP fans and stuff. It sounds mature. It's weird. Then we got Mirrors, Have a Nice Life. This was such a fun record, man. The song Woke Up Dead on here, it just bangs. I just love his flow in this. But Mirrors, great storyteller, always doing it good, man. He's never fucking boring. He's never boring. And I don't know, I can see why some people didn't really care for like the beats and shit on here, but yeah, it is what it is, man. And some of the choruses, but it still goes together good. Then we got The Game documentary 2. which I thought was pretty good. I thought it was pretty decent. But then I really liked the Game 2.5 even more. I thought this was a better overall album. You know, as a whole, man, you could make one really pretty decent record. Considering the Game's last two albums were really atrocious, like really bad. This was a nice breath of fresh air, really, you know, from the Game. So I thought those were pretty good. Next up, I thought was really dope, man. Mine Son and Kev One Pillars. This was really, really good. Just really short. I would say probably, yeah, this one right here is like something like under 30 minutes. It's got the instrumentals, so the tracks too, but there's like 8 songs. And one of them's, oh no, there's 8 tracks plus the instrumentals, but this is good. Really good, dope rhymes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sophomore effort from Diamond District, March on Washington. This one at first I honestly did not care for. I thought it was really fucking boring. And it took me a bunch of listens to get into this, and I've, you know, kind of realized that it's pretty good. You know, it's just a more mature, it doesn't have the catchiness of their first record. But this is still really good, actually. I was kind of listening to the lyrics and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. It takes a little bit to get used to, though. Doppelgangers with Peace Kid. This is really good too, man. I mean, really, what has the Doppelgangers put out that wasn't good? In my opinion, these guys are just as solid as like Epidemic and People Under the Stairs for some, like, you know, the newer groups. Yeah, really good stuff, man. You know what you're gonna get with Doppelgangers. We got Freddie Gibbs and Madlib with Pinata or Pintia, or however you want to pronounce it. I thought this was really good too, man. You know, the song Thuggin', I thought kind of got overplayed somehow for me. Because it came out a while before the record, and then the album dropped, and you know what? I'm not the hugest Freddie Gibbs fan. But with the Madlib production, man, it kind of works, and it sells itself to me. Yeah, it's good though. I enjoy it. Next up here we got Mayday and Mirrors. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I care for this album. I honestly can't remember it. It's so strange. I'm trying to think what it sounds like right now. I feel like such an idiot, but I think I do remember not caring for this, but I could be wrong. But I know I'm not a big fan of Mayday by himself, so fucking chair is squeaky. It's annoying. Then we got Hobson here. I just grabbed this because with Madness here, I wanted to hear what he sounded like, because everyone kept telling me that he sounded like Eminem. He was like a black Eminem. And I was like, okay, that's strange. I popped it in, I was like, holy shit, he sounds like Black Eminem. He's actually pretty good, though. It's not really my thing, though, to be honest. I got kind of bored with the novel. It seems like it's a novelty act to me. I don't know what it is, man. It doesn't hold its merit with me. It doesn't have any longevity with me for some weird reason. I know a lot of people like Hobson, and I respect that, but I don't know. Not really for me, I guess. DJ Quick with the Midnight Life. This has its ups and downs, you know, like a lot of the new DJ Quick records, you know, but it's always nice to hear a new Quick Groove, which is number 9. Fuck, he's put out a lot of albums now, so, yeah, this has a kind of a jarring flow to the record. I think it's kind of hit and miss with the songs. It just doesn't really flow that well as a record. Kind of strange. Then we got Sean Price, songs in the key of Price. Rest in peace to Sean P. This is it's fun to listen to. It's kind of sad to listen to now, because I think this dropped like right after he died, and yeah, you know, it's a lot of really short songs, like 30 tracks on here, just him kind of ripping over beats and stuff. But you know, it's still pretty cool, man. I've never been overly the hugest fan of Sean Price's style, but you know, I always respected him. But I do like Sean Price. But next up here we got Clive Craven, My Life in Black and White, which I will have a review coming up for these next few Clive Craven records. I just haven't gotten to them. Reviewing albums is so much different than reviewing movies for me, where I can just watch a movie and review it. I feel like I have to listen to albums over and over and over again to do it. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Review will be up later. Then we got Clive Craven. What is the name of this one right here? The Music Maker. That's right, The Music Maker. Pretty cool stuff right there. Then we got Clive Craven, and this is Diary of a Boss. I want to say this is Diary of a Boss 3. So we got Diary of a Boss 2 right here. And then we got Diary of a Boss 3. Just 2 EPs. I'll probably do these reviews as one video, but these are actually pretty interesting. And Next up here we got Super Dave West beatboxing. This was kind of cool. I enjoyed this, man. I thought it was pretty different. This was actually a mistake. I had made a big order to Access Hip Hop out of San Diego, and they accidentally sent me this, and I was like, oh, cool, I was going to actually order it anyways, but I didn't, and they sent me this instead of something else. They ended up sending me the right one, but that was kind of cool. They just said, yeah, keep it, so that was kind of a nice little bonus right there. Eric Sermon, ESP, Eric Sermon's Perception. You know, if this is Eric Sermon's last record, man, I think he went out pretty good. It's not like a whack record or anything. I wish they had to put the fucking song titles on the back in the right damn order. Sorry about the glare, guys. It's just this fucking room is horrible to shoot in. But yeah, ESP, man, it's actually pretty cool, man. It's cool to see Too Short on here. Sheik Louch, Joel Ortiz, Method Redman, Keith Murray, of course. You got all the Death Squad and stuff on there. Pretty cool. We got Joey Badass here. I actually really enjoyed this record, man. I don't think it's as good as like his mixtape that came out a couple years back, but this was fun. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, moving along, man. I guess we'll get into some. No, I'll just keep going along with these ones here. We got Royce 5'9" and Primo with Prime. Very, very short, 9 tracks. Kind of, it's okay. This is, to me, it feels very average. I don't think Primo's beats are like the best on here. I don't think Royce sounds like hungry. It's weird. It's just, it feels like this very kind of average record. And, you know, at times it feels like it's rushed, but there's 9 songs. Like, there can't be any rush into. I don't know. It's strange, man. I really don't know how to describe that one. Next up, Hex 1 and Fifth Element, Holograms. This is really good. Really enjoyed this, man. I mean, pretty much everything that Epidemic puts out is just fantastic. Yeah, check this out, man. It's really good. Then we got Shady 15-year compilation here. First disc, I believe, is a greatest hits album kind of thing. And the second one is, no, vice versa. New tracks on disc 1. Second disc, just a bunch of old tracks and stuff. I grabbed it just because I wanted to hear what was on the first disc. Plus, it was $5 brand new, and I was like, I don't have it, so I might as well grab it. It's okay. Same with this one, too. Actually, I think this was 2 for 5. Was this 2 for 10? I think it was 2 for 10 or something. Eminem presents the re-up. Kind of like a mixtape type deal. I'm sure you guys all know about this. Yeah, I think it was 2 for 10, so I got those both for $5. I just didn't have them because I wasn't really my thing there for a long time. Very impressed with this, the infamous Mobb Deep. This is actually pretty good, man. I was impressed with this. First disc, I was shocked at like how decent the beats were and stuff on this. And then the second disc has like a bunch of like older tracks, like unreleased stuff and remixes and shit. Pretty cool release, man. I haven't really seen too many people talk about this. Kind of a shame because, I mean, really, I would be off-put by a lot of the new Mobb Deep stuff that generally comes out as a group. But, I don't know. That was really good. Illmatic, what is this? The 20-year anniversary of Illmatic. Of course, you know, double disc 2 has a bunch of remixes and things like that. I think there's actually some new remixes on there. I'm not even 100% sure. They might have been released before, probably, but who knows. Yeah, Illmatic, one of the best albums ever. Raekwon, Fly International, Luxurious Art. I didn't really care for this too much, man. Yeah, only Built for Cuban Links 2 was like the resurrection of Raekwon, and ever since then he's kind of went back down. So maybe he'll resurrect again with a really dope album in the future. Who fucking knows? Who knows? Next up here we got Politic Pistols, Paris. This made my top albums last year. This is really good, man. If you like Paris, you like that West Coast kind of gangster wine sound, and you just dig Paris in general, man. He's a very underrated producer / MC. That always has something to say, man, and it's good. It's good. It's very political. It's hard, and it packs a punch, man. It's good. It's good stuff, man. Next up here, we got another Clive Craven, and Rated R presents Underground Genocide. Yeah, right there. Have not even checked this one out yet. Next up here, we got Hail Mary Malin. What is it called? Beastry? I can't even pronounce the name of this fucking album, man. It's annoying. Really dig this song, man. It's fucking good. Aesop Rock, Rob Sonic. Good shit, man. If you haven't heard this, fuck, it's just so good. It's just so good. This is another really good one, man. The Lost Tapes by the Legion. It's always nice when these compilations come out from lost shit from like the 90s and stuff. Awesome, man. I'm always digging when these come out. Gotta check it out, man. Legion, very, very underrated group. And then we got BBC Darney and J Merck here. Of course, BBC Darney does the beats. J Merck, not the greatest MC in the world in my opinion, but he holds it down over the beats, man. BBC Darney's beats are just awesome, awesome boom bap shit, man. Straight 90s stuff, really good. Then we got Diamond D with Dime Piece. This I thought was pretty good for the most part. I mean, it's just kind of like producer record, man. I mean, there's just everybody's on this record, man. Everybody from Pharaoh Munch, Talib Kweli, Elzai, Skyzoo, Fat Joe, Chia Lee out of fucking jail, Freddie Fox, Pete Rock, Farside. List just goes on and on. The Alcoholics, man. From Granddaddy IU, man. Alchemist, Evidence, Step Brothers stuff. This is pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. Scarface's new record, Deeply Rooted. Thought this is really good, man. I don't know, man. I'm such a big fan of Scarface, so it never really seems to fail me. I know it's not his best work in the world, but it's still not his, probably not his worst. I don't even know what his worst is, but this is good. Thought it was dope. Omniscience, The Raw Factor, the latest, well, not the latest album, I guess, is the album that was supposed to come out in 95, 96 or whatever. 94, 95, yeah, something like that. Really good stuff, man. Again, you know, another album that, you know, was shelved forever, made its way into my hands. Awesome. EMC, The Tonight Show. I gotta say, man, this has got to be the most disappointing Master Ace project probably of all time for me. I don't know, man. 22 tracks on here. There's like maybe 9 songs or something. I just... This is an album you can't listen to the CD, man. You have to pop this on an iPod and then take out all the interludes and then take out the shitty songs. I don't know, man. I just don't really... doesn't flow well, man. Some of the songs aren't bad, but as a whole, not the greatest. And we got Apollo Brown with Granier. So good, man. So good. Again, just a producer album. Lots and lots of good MCs on here, man. Anybody from Eternian, man. Ugly Heroes, man. Odyssey, Barrel Brothers. List goes on and on. All the cats you expect to be working with. It's amazing. Method Man's Meth Lab. I don't know, it's supposed to be a solo record or what. Every song has multiple features. Method Man sounds drowned out on this. Beats aren't good. It's not innovative. It's very dry, stale. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking with this album, man. I really don't. It's not good at all. There's really nothing redeemable about this album. It's such a shame. Because Method Man can still rap. He just can't make albums, man. It's terrible. That's fucking awful. Really bad. Lucky 7, Static Selecta. Really dig this as usual. It's not his greatest album, of course, but it's got its moments, though. It's got its moments. Then we got Gangrene, You Disgust Me. Yeah, I mean, it's Gangrene, man. You know, can't go wrong with this stuff, man. Got some cool features on here. Sean Price again, Action Bronson. I like this song with Evidence on here, man. I'm such a big fan of Evidence, but of course, not as good as their first record, but still really good. Czarface. Again, I really enjoyed this album. I don't think it's as good as their first one. Some people say this one, they like this one more than their first record. I mean, I can see that, I guess. Still super fun, though. I mean, Esoteric just always seems to rip shit, so... Inspected Dag. Good stuff. Then we got People on the Stairs, Getting Off the Stage, Step 1. Now, what People on the Stairs were doing with this, or we're going to release this album in 3 different EPs called Getting Off the Stage, Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. So they just recently released Step 2, and I've been waiting for months and months for this thing to come out. I thought I was on the mailing list, you know, for it to come out. And I wasn't getting emails, so I kept checking back on the website. And I went there one day, and it still wasn't up. I checked back about 5 days later, and fucking sold out. So I am extremely fucking annoyed because People on the Stairs is my favorite group since '98, and I can't even begin to fathom the fact that I'm not going to get the Step 2 on CD. Like, I don't even know what to do. My OCD is gonna fucking kill me for the rest of my life. It's just so bad, but I don't know what to do, man. I think this is just crazy. I hope that they release the whole record as a one after or something. I don't even think they're gonna be able to do it because I think it's gonna be too long to put all the songs on to one album, but I don't know, man. But anyway, step one, really good stuff, man. 6 tracks. I know the other one has 6 tracks too, which I did download it because you can download it from the website for free, actually. It's actually a legal download. So disappointed, man, because I love him. Pisses me off. Necro, Sadist Hits, 15 songs of blood and gore. Yeah, it's Necro. It's Necro. Pick this up because I think there was a couple bonus tracks. I think there's a couple things on here I didn't have. I have all of Necro's albums anyways, so there probably was a reason. I don't know. Necro's entertaining. Yeah. Action Bronson, Mr. Wonderful. Don't really care for this album too much at all. I think it's by far his worst work. And I'm not just saying that because he's like on a major label here, but it's just, it doesn't feel right. This album does not feel like an Action Bronson album. It feels like it's trying to, apply itself to a different crowd. I don't know, man. This just did not do it for me at all. Next up here, we got Guilty Simpson, Detroit Sun. Now, this was a weird album. It was all produced by Catalyst of Quakers. And it has a really interestingly odd sound. It's strange. It's really strange. The first spin I had on this, I had no idea what to think from this. And eventually it kind of came around and I was like, damn, it's actually really cool, man. It's a different album. You have to hear it. You have to hear it. If you like Guilty Simpson, man, check it out. We got Indy 500 here, Talib Kweli and Ninth Wonder. Probably some of the better stuff I've heard from Talib Kweli. Maybe just because Ninth Wonder's production. I find Ninth Wonder to be a little stale now. He just kind of seems to put out the same stuff over and over again. But this wasn't bad, though. This wasn't bad. I'll give him credit for that. It wasn't terrible. One of the releases of last year, man, for those who slept, number 8, Nick Wiz, Stellar Sounds, Volume 4. I hope he keeps putting these out, man, because, that's basically 8 albums of amazing 90s stuff that he's done. So good, man. If you don't have this, if you don't have any of the Nick Wiz Stellar Sounds compilations, you got to do yourself a favor and go out and get these. They're so good. I don't know if you guys can fucking glare, but anyways, yeah, it's amazing. They're just so good. Apathy, Weekend at the Cafe, at the Cape. Jesus. I didn't really care for this overly that much, man. I don't know, man. This wasn't really doing it for me. Apathy's been very hit miss with a couple projects in the last couple years for me. I really dig Apathy, though. I think he's excellent. I just didn't really care for the beat so much on this, but yeah, I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me. Next up here, MOP Street Certified. Again, a big fan of MOP, but beats and hooks, man. I think it's more the hooks on this. It was just atrocious, man. Very, very short. 9 tracks. Feels like a fucking EP. It doesn't feel that great. Fucking MOP. Welcome to Los Santos. The Alchemist and Ono present Welcome to Los Santos soundtrack. Not very good. There's a couple tracks on here that are pretty interesting. But otherwise, nothing that great on here. Like the MC8 Freddie Gibbs song featuring Cocaine. Yeah, not great. Malik B and Mr. Green, absolutely love this album. Favorite album of last year. I can't stress enough how much I love this record, so it's fucking awesome, man. I still bump this shit like all the time. Yeah, dude, I can't get enough of this. It's a quick listen, man. There's 13 tracks and it's like 35 minutes long. Sorry, I got the hiccups here. And yeah, I don't know. It's good, man. If you haven't heard this, check it out. It's fantastic. Baby. I need a drink. Gia. Gia continuing along with this marathon video here. We got Clear Soul Forces with Fab 5, produced by Nameless. These guys are dope, man. Clear Soul Forces, if you've never heard of these guys, give them a shot. So far, all 3 of the records are really good. I really enjoyed this too, man. They're fun. They're fun. It's good underground hip-hop, man. That's what it is. Then we got a very surprising one for me also. In Imani, I think it's Blacklicious. Now, I wasn't expecting much from this because Blacklicious' last offering wasn't really the greatest for me, if I remember correctly. But this one just came out with hits, man. It just had fire on it. It was very interesting, to say the least, and I was just shocked at how good this was. And I love when that happens to me, where I'm not expecting much and it's just so much better than it ever should be. Well, no, I shouldn't say it should be. It's Blackalicious. He's dope. Or they're dope. Gift of Gab is an amazing MC, but yeah, man, it just, the beats and stuff kind of caught me off guard, and it was funky, it was up tempo, and it was cool, man. I liked it. It was cool. Another one that I really liked too, man, Slum Village is Yes. Again, wasn't really expecting a whole lot from this, but probably got one of Phife Dawg's last verses. Probably. Like, Phife Dawg doesn't do a lot of features, and he's on a song called Push It Along, go figure. And yeah, man, it's a really dope song. Got De La Soul on here. Yeah, this was surprising, man. I remember listening to this. First time I listened to this, I was out camping with the wife, and she's like, "This is really fucking dope." This is exactly what she said to me. I was like, "That's amazing that you just said that." I don't know why I told that story, but whatever. Slum Village, good shit, man. I really enjoyed that. It was good. Rest in peace to Phife Dawg, man. It makes me tear up every time I say that. Public Enemy, Man Plans, God Laughs. This is really fucking short. Really short album. It's gotta be like 25 minutes long or 30 minutes. I don't know. It's not for everybody, but it's kind of catchy and strange at times. It's Public Enemy. They're one of my favorite groups ever. I'll buy anything that Chuck D puts out. So this was actually kind of interesting. Pretty cool though. And then we got Dr. Dre's Compton record that he didn't even produce in full. I know he produced some of these tracks. It's very hit and miss. There is a couple tracks on here I did like, but for the most part, it's not really my thing. I don't connect with this stuff as much as I used to. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's the new beats. They just don't really do it for me. But yeah, I can see why some people like it though. And that's gonna do it for the newer albums that I picked up. Let's get into some secondhand ones that I picked up. Some of these are kind of funny. They're more just to fill in gaps in the collection because I'm more of a completist. So, but this was a cool find, man. Moni Love, Down to Earth. Never owned this album. I never even heard this album before. Came across this for $2 and I was like, shit, yeah, man. I need some Moni Love in the collection. Yeah, of course, man. Just a rarity, man. I've never seen this album out in the wild, and you know, I knew of this album. I just didn't have it. You know, whatever. Pretty cool. Moni Love. Picked up this. I actually don't own any Ludacris albums at all because I'm not really a big fan, but I do kind of enjoy some of the tracks on this album. Back for the First Time, which was his debut album, I don't know, in 2001 or 2000 or something. Yeah, I grabbed it. It was, you know, $2. I might as well grab it just for the collection kind of thing. I did listen to it. I partly enjoyed it. It's Ludacris, not really for me that much, but never had this compilation or this Greatest Hits, Bad Boy Greatest Hits Volume 1. Grabbed this for, you know, a couple tracks on here anyways. Flavor and Fury remix is really cool. Of course, One More Chance remix is on here too. But, you know, everything else I think I pretty much have covered, but $2. Whatever, it is what it is. We got the RZA, Bobby Digital. Cool stuff. I just didn't own this one, so I grabbed it. $2. Yeah. And here's one I never... Okay, this is very interesting because I grabbed this and I said to my buddy, I'm like, man, is this album any good? And he's like, you've never heard that album before? And I'm like, no, man. And he's like, I can't fucking believe you never heard that shit. He goes, it's actually surprisingly good. Prodigy, Return of the Mac. And I was like, seriously? He's like, no, take it home and listen to it, and if you don't like it, just bring it back, whatever. And I was like, okay. Man, I was really floored by this. This is really good. I don't know what it was. It was the time that Mobb Deep was just not putting out good stuff, you know, in the mid-2000s, early 2000s, whatever. It's 2007. I just was not interested in what Havoc and Prodigy were putting out. Now they're putting out really cool stuff with The Alchemist. They've both done records with The Alchemist now, which is really cool. And I actually like both of them. They're pretty cool. I think they should just do a group album with The Alchemist, you know, since they've both done the solo projects. But anyways, this album, it was really good. I was surprised. Cool stuff, man. I can't believe it. I never heard it until this year. Next up here, we got Jay-Z and Kanye West, Watch the Throne, just the single edition. Never had it. Grabbed it for the collection. I really don't like this album. I don't know, man. You know, theoretically, this album probably should have been a lot better. They weren't trying to make the most goddamn poppy, mainstream sounding album. But there is a couple good songs on here, but for the most part, don't really care for the album. I've got Best of Both Worlds, Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Again, grabbed it for the collection. I actually don't mind some of the tracks on here, to be honest. I won't lie. I don't really care for the album overall, but not bad. And then this thing, Still Sealed, Kanye West's Jesus album? I don't know what the fuck. I've never even heard this. It's Still Sealed. I grabbed it because it was free. I got it for free. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll ever listen to it. Now, here's another big surprise to me. I was fucking floored by this, actually, because another one I passed on for years and years and years, just had no interest whatsoever. 2002, this came out in. The State Property soundtrack. Never had any interest in it. Was not a big fan of kind of this era, and but man, this is pretty good, man. I don't know if I was just having one of those days where I was like, man, that's really dope. But I listened to it again and I was like, it's pretty good. Like, I was amazed at the quality of this, you know, especially after, like, you know, they put out the Dynasty album and stuff, and I don't know, man. I don't know. And then we got DJ Clue 3, or The Professional 3. I don't even think I listened to, I think I just kind of scanned through this. I don't think I actually listened to it. From what I heard, it sounded atrocious, like really fucking bad. But I had the first two, so I was like, shit, why'd I grab the third one, man? Yeah, anyways. Big Snoop Dogg presents Welcome to the Church, the album. Again, fucking really, really bad. I have a thing with compilations, as you guys seen in my Shelf by Shelves. I love buying these type of compilations and soundtracks and things like that. There's a couple decent songs on here. I was surprised to see, like, Lady of Rage verses on here, even Half Dead, which he doesn't go by Little Half Dead anymore, it's just Half Dead. His voice sounds different now. But yeah, not really that great, man. It's kind of not good. Want to talk about fucking shit albums here. LL Cool J's Authentic. Now, the title of this album is very ironic because this is probably the most unauthentic album I've ever heard in my life, hip-hop album I've ever heard. Man, he's got songs on here with Brad Paisley, like the country singer. This is one of the worst piece of shits I've ever fucking heard in my life. I'd never heard anything off this until I picked it up. I grabbed it because I do have every other LL Cool J album. Just such a fan growing up that I'm like, can't stop buying all his albums. Like, it's like the retard in me or something. I don't know. But this is really fucking bad. Like, really bad. One of the worst albums I've ever heard. It might even be one of the worst albums in my collection. It's horrible. Mr. Short Hop, The Short Shop. Not really that good, man. Again, this era, man, early 2000s for the West Coast, they had all these shitty producers and things were just kind of wonky at those times, and it doesn't really sound that good. There's a lot of songs on here with, I think Ice Cube's on a few songs, and there's some couple decent verses and stuff, but it doesn't flow well. It gets boring. Speaking of not really the greatest, Mr. Cheeks, John P. Reilly. I think this is his second solo album, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's his first one. I don't fucking know. Lights, Camera, Action. Yeah, there's a couple of decent songs on here, but man, this album fades hard, man. Really fucking fades, and you're just thinking, where is Freaky Todd and the rest of the Lost Boys? Yeah. Never had this EP on CD. I had this on tape years ago, just never grabbed it for whatever reasons. $5. I grabbed the Home for this 5150 Home for the Sick EP, Easy EP. Mostly just because of Merry Motherfucking Christmas. That shit cracks me the fuck up. I love that track. I just never had the song. Easy E, Up in the House. Found another MC8 album in the wild, Underground Hero. Yeah, I did steal the Gia from MC8, of course, that I use all the time. But I started saying that way back in the day because I just thought it was clever. It was catchy. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really come across MC8 albums in the wild very often, and that was actually kind of a cool find. It's not bad. It's okay. Then we got Jay-Z, Magna Carta. I'll be honest, I actually haven't heard this yet. I didn't listen to it. I haven't even scanned through it, so I can't really bash it right now because I have heard it's pretty bad. I have heard one song off it before. I don't remember what it was, but for the collection, just kind of completes it. I think I'm missing one Jay-Z and R. Kelly album. Yeah, Mr. Cheeks back again. I guess this would be his second record, right? Or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. not really the greatest again. Mr. Cheek solo stuff is super boring. I won't lie, it's super boring, so is what it is. Then we got Paris Acid Reflux. Finally grabbed this one. I got this I think I got this actually on Amazon for like $3 or something. So that was pretty good, man. Again, you can't go wrong with Paris. If you're a fan, you can't go wrong. And then we got Unleashed. I finally grabbed Unleashed, man. It's good, man. It's fucking Paris. It's dope. It's hard. It's political. It's good shit. Yeah, man, it's getting hot than a motherfucker in this room. Alright, so we're on the home stretch, guys. Only got a few more here. And this is just the 2016 albums I picked up, which is not that many so far. I usually hit about this time in the year and then I'll start kind of backpedaling and grabbing the ones that I haven't grabbed yet. I do have about 7 or 8 on a list to get that I'm going to grab for sure. I'm being super selective with albums now because I've been let down so much in the last 4 or 5 years that I'm tired of wasting money on shit that I'm not listening to. First up here, we got DJ Shadow's The Mountain Will Fall. Just picked this up today. You can briefly hear it in the background. It's really good. It's actually got a song here with Run the Jewels called Nobody Speak. Very cool, man. I didn't even know DJ Shadow was putting on another album. I think I overlooked this year, and I actually came across this today, and I was like, shit, I gotta pick that up, man. It's fucking DJ Shadow. I'm a big fan. So that was a cool find right there. Of course, no brainer. Had to grab the new Jay Dilla record, The Diary of Jay Dilla. It's really good. It's sad. It's sad. You know, every time I think of Jay Dilla and stuff, it's just, y'all know the stories, but it's good, man. I dig it, man. It's Dilla. It's good. And then we got Master Ace, The Falling Season. This is actually really enjoyable, even with the interludes and stuff. There's 24 tracks in here. I think there's, half of them are interludes or whatever, but it goes with the story. It's a concept record, and it's very easy to catch on what the story is right away. And it kind of goes through it, and after about 5 or 6 listens, I was like, it's a really intelligent album. Maybe some of the hooks and stuff aren't the greatest, but you can totally overlook it because it's such a great story. It's creative. Master Ace is one of those MCs. He's an artist. He really isn't just an MC. He's an actual artist that puts a lot of effort into what he's doing. And it's hard to do these concept albums, and to kind of keep that flow going. I give him mad props for that. Best album of the year so far, man, for me. A$AP Rock, The Impossible Kid. This album is just... it bangs every time. Every time I put this album on, I get a huge boner. So it's fantastic, man. If I'm gonna get a boner every time I hear the album, it's just, you can't go wrong with that, really. But anyways, good shit, man. Check it out. A$AP Rock. It's fantastic. Ordered this from the DITC website, DITC Studios, Deluxe Edition. Yeah, dude, this is actually pretty good. It's got, of course, Diamond D, AG, OC. It's got Fat Joe on a couple tracks, Lord Finesse, all the DITC crew. Pharoah Monch is on here. AG, I probably said AG. But yeah, I was surprised at the beats and things like that. It turned out pretty well. It could have been a lot worse, and it wasn't. And so, it's good. Surprise! I don't know what it is with these old brand Nubian cats still putting out records, but look who fucking surfaces after like 10 years, I think, since his last album, and it's called Black from the Future, of course. Grand Puba in his racist style, still hating on white people, but it's fun. It's good. Grand Puba just never seems to change at all, man. It's crazy, but he has this kind of I don't know what kind of flow it is, but it works. It's just this very kind of low-key type of, what'd you just say there, Puba? I don't know, I always find myself doing that. But yeah, cool stuff. Then got 2 more here. Then we got Twisted Mutant remixed and mastered. They remixed that whole record, and this sounds a lot better than the original one that was out like 10 years ago or something, or 12 years ago. This is actually not bad for all the Twisted fans out there. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but entertaining. And last up, not really hip-hop, but I guess I'll show this off because I had it on the stack. Chronicles of the Wasteland. This is the Turbo Kid soundtrack. It's, electronic and things like that, but if you're into that type of stuff, it's very catchy, very, very fun. And if you haven't seen the fucking movie, check it out. It's fantastic. It's like a post-apocalyptic kind of superhero mixed with like Rad. It's got like big homages to the movie Rad from the 80s and stuff. That's very cool. So yeah, very cool, man. It's got actually 2 discs in here. It's got, you know, the Chronicles of the Wasteland. It's got like 10 tracks on one, and then it's got like the full soundtrack on the other. I think that's a really nice touch, man. So check that out. And that is going to do it for the update, guys. I know that was really fucking long, but that is everything that I picked up for hip hop. Oh no, I guess I grabbed this. I don't know what I grabbed for vinyl actually last year, so I'm just not even gonna worry about it. I know I haven't showed this because I picked this up 2 days ago, and it's Funkadelics. Take it to the stage. Let's take it to the stage. That bad boy right there, man. George Clinton. Fuck yeah. You can't go wrong with that shit, man. Yeah, really fucking dope, man. So very cool. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it. So I will continue along with the shelves if everyone wants to see like what I have for, you know, the rock and all the mix genres and things like that. I have had a lot of requests to show it off. It's very, very random. So I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to go through, I guess. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be back with another update sometime. Maybe at the end of the year when I pick up enough stuff to actually have one. But anyways, guys, that's it for this series. That is the last for the hip-hop part, and we'll probably get into the other shelves. As usual, guys, peace!